Hey everyone, this week we get our hands on a brand new weapon and a new game mode. The MAB 38, also known as the Beretta M1938, is the latest addition to the game and is only the second SMG to be added to the medic class. The design of the weapon is based on the Villa Perosa from Battlefield 1 and is considered to be the most successful Italian small arm of World War II. The Beretta family went on to make several variants until the early 1960s before replacing it with a more modern SMG. This week's assignment tree mainly focuses on the new mode Outpost and is fairly simple to complete, so I won't go into any detail about that, but the path I took is on screen right now for those who do want to take a similar path. The MAB 38 has a fixed rate of fire of 600 rounds per minute and that cannot be upgraded any further. However, you can downgrade the rate of fire to 450 rounds per minute by switching to single fire mode, but I doubt you'll ever need to do so. It comes with a 20 round magazine as well as a 30 round magazine once upgraded, and that's the path I decided to take in the specialization tree. So quick aim, extended mag, improved hipfire and mag dump hipfire. Strangely, the one thing I've noticed is the removal of quick aim, which is unprecedented as every other weapon in every other class is given the option except for MMGs. As far as I'm aware, quick aim is not applied as default and maybe should be going forward with SMGs, as I feel the majority of players pick quick aim over almost anything else. Basically, the lack of ADS speed puts the MAB at a disadvantage when aiming down sight, especially in close quarters, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to max out the hipfire instead. The other reason is that if you go all right side, you're basically left with a weaker version of the 600 RPM MP34. So even if you spec it to be ADS efficient, it still won't beat the best medic weapon for range. The MAB 38 does have better hipfire at the cost of damage output over distance, but I don't think that's enough to draw a clear distinction between the two, as everything else is virtually identical. So you're kind of forced into picking the left path if you want to make it feel different and unique from the rest. The sights available to pick from aren't any different either, and this time around I went for iron sights to get the quickest ADS speed. A sight would have only further slowed down the ADS time, and as a bonus I wouldn't have anything blocking my view when hip firing. The recoil isn't too bad either and sits right in between the EMP and the MP28 in terms of difficulty. To be more specific, the horizontal recoil is identical to the 600 RPM MP34, and once you apply the recoil buffer it's pretty much all vertical recoil, so fairly easy to control, especially if you're hip firing most of the time. The time it takes to reload when empty is 3.4 seconds and 2.4 seconds with bullets remaining. That gives it one of the slower reload speeds in the medic class, so the quick aim perk is essential in minimizing the time you're exposed. I found myself reloading quite often due to the small magazine size, so I would recommend reloading tactically whenever you can to save yourself a valuable second. The default bullet velocity is 345 meters per second, which gives it the third lowest velocity in the medic class and the entire game, excluding pistols that is. So long range targets should be avoided at all costs, as the bullet drop over distance will require plenty of leading. However, once you upgrade it with the faster bullet perk, the velocity increases significantly by a further 215. That's way more than the 10% suggested in the specialization tree description and results in the velocity being on par with the upgraded ZK and the MP34. The extra bullet speed does make it easier to hit moving targets, and I found medium range to be the sweet spot. From looking at the damage stats on the left hand side, we can tell that the MAB needs to land 4 body shots up to 10 meters to finish off an opponent, 5 from 11 to 30 meters, 6 from 31 to 50 meters, 7 from 51 to 75 meters, and a staggering 8 bullets from 75 meters onwards. It may sound really bad, but all other SMGs except for the MP34 use the same damage model, which means that the best TTK is almost purely based on the rate of fire, and when compared to fast firing SMGs like the Suomi, the MAB can hardly compete and will get beat 1v1 every single time in the perfect setting, and most of the time outside of the perfect setting. The only thing that it has going for it is less recoil and faster bullet speed, which gives it a fighting chance from medium range, as you're more likely to land your shot than a Suomi. Will I pick the MAB 38 over the Suomi, MP28 or Thompson? No. The huge TTK difference, the extra ammo capacity, and the ability to ADS quickly while being able to hipfire somewhat accurately is just too much to give up for a weapon that just excels at hipfiring. You could say the MAB has less recoil, but it doesn't really matter when you don't struggle with the faster firing SMGs, so I don't see a reason to downgrade. Will I pick the MAB 38 over the Sten, EMP and MP40? Yes. The faster bullet speed, the faster rate of fire, the better TTK and the better hipfire while having a similar sized magazine once upgraded makes it an easy decision for me. Overall, taking everything into account, the MAB is not the most flexible or the best SMG in the game, but its impeccable hipfire makes it extremely effective in close quarters. Perfect for maps and game modes that focus on infantry close quarter combat. The specialization tree is probably its biggest weakness, and the small default magazine size is another. In fact, the real life version had a 40 round detachable magazine, and I don't see why they didn't implement it into the game. 30 rounds as standard and 40 with extended mags would have made it much more appealing and worth picking. But what do you think? Will it be your new go-to SMG, or will you just go back to your favourite once you've ranked it up to level 10? I'd love to know, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a rating, and I'll see you later. Take care.